It's time for Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore. A Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. Brought to you by Joe Lunghammer Chevrolet of Waterford. Plan your next vehicle purchase or get your credit rolling in the right direction with Regina today. And now, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore.
Good morning, good morning. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am your host, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. And today I'm joined with my co-host, but this is our second show together on Saturday morning. It's Dr. T, Dr. Teresa Moore. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Saturday, everyone.
Happy Saturday to you. How are you doing this morning, this happy Saturday morning?
I'm doing very well. So glad to be sitting on alongside. Excited for the show today.
Super excited for the show today because you know what? We got two queens. Two queens. When I call these ladies queens, they queens of the universe. You know why? Because they're running their own lane, and you want to get in their lane. You want to cross their lane because you know what? We have Miss Cathy Washington. She is sitting alongside of us, sort of. She is all the way out of Atlanta, Georgia. Good morning, Miss Cathy Washington.
Good morning, Miss Regina and Dr. T. So nice to be on the show. Thank you all so much for having me. Good morning.
And then we have Brenda, I'm going to give her a government. Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you all the way out of Michigan. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Regina. How are you this morning?
Doing good, doing good this morning.
Well, you're all fired up this morning.
Well, you know what? It's
You're putting the life into everyone that's listening.
But you know, it's Saturday morning, and you know what? This is our first show with my new co-host, Dr. T, Dr. Teresa Moore, and Brenda, the realtor that moves you, and Miss Cathy Washington. Of course, I'm super excited. You know why? It's because we're bridging the gap from Michigan to Atlanta to Florida to Tennessee to Georgia, wherever you want to be, we're bridging the gap. If you're looking to buy a car, I'm your girl, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. If you're looking to get your credit together, because what? You need your credit together to do what? To buy a car and to buy a house. If you need to get your credit together, you're going to hook up with Miss Cathy Washington. If you need to buy a house, your first house, or you need to buy an investment property, you're going to hook up with Brenda Denise Davis, who is a broker at Century 21. So let's go ahead and get this show started this morning. This morning, we're going to be talking to Miss Cathy Washington, who is a credit and financial coach. What are you going to talk about today, this morning, Miss Cathy Washington?
Yes. Thank you again. I appreciate the invitation and being here. I am going to talk about our goal is an 800 credit score. We just need to know how to get there. So we're going to talk about credit score calculation today. So I want to just give people that journey, Regina and Dr. T, on how to get to that 800 plus credit score, ultimately 850. So that's what we're going to talk about this morning.
Before we get started, can you go ahead and give everybody your numbers, where they can reach you or how they can get in contact with you?
Absolutely. Thank you again. I am Cathy Washington, your financial life coach and impact speaker. You can reach me at 1-800-988-9184, 1-800-988-9184, or you could hit me up on my website at cathywashington.com.
Excellent. I want to know more about how do you get to that 800 credit score or payment calculations. How do you get there? Because I know a lot of people don't understand how do you get to the 800 credit score or what does it consist of?
Absolutely. Well, you know what, Regina, it is really, there's 5 components to this pie that we refer to as our credit score. And, you know, really when I would just tell you a little bit about what happened when I got started in this industry. I really was going through a tough time myself, and I didn't understand credit. In fact, none of us really, if truth be told, was taught. Right. And so at the end of the day, to be really educated now on being financial literate, it is really making a difference. But really, my parents just told me to pay my bills on time. Well, little did I know there were 4 other pieces of the pie that I didn't know anything about And I learned pretty much the hard way. So we're going to talk about all of those ways today. The first way, if I just jump right in and begin to share this information, the first way is payment history. I told you that my parents said pay your bills on time. Well, they were right from the perspective of that's the largest piece of the pie. 35% of your payment history is part of that calculation. It really is valuable that you pay your bills on time. I don't care if you just pay the minimum. Just pay them on time. Don't pay them late. That's what I tell all of my clients.
Well, you know what? That's a good way to look at it. To jump in.
That's right. Because honestly, if you're late, Regina, in paying your bills, one delinquency could really be 50 to 100 points.
Well, that makes
really
a huge difference too, Cathy.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It makes a huge difference. It's very important.
So, Cathy.
I agree with you. Go ahead.
Cathy, one late payment can disrupt your credit history?
No doubt. It absolutely can. And I know Brenda will definitely attest to the fact that somebody's trying to buy a house. That could really be significant. They could be right in the middle of the process, and if they miss a payment, that could be really significant on their credit score. But, 50 to 100 points could be the result of just, I forgot.
It can be very devastating.
Tools to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It can be.
Some tools to help you.
So that's key, but I guess setting up a schedule, right? Setting up a schedule, knowing when your payments due, or setting up what's another thing that you can tell us what we need to do so that we won't forget to make a payment?
You can absolutely just put we have our phones with us all the time, right? You can put a reminder in your phone, like a calendar reminder. Hey, don't forget to pay, the credit card on the 15th. You could do it a couple days prior. I usually put mine in my phone. That's useful. You can also, set up some online payments that could come out automatically from your checking account. So there are a lot of ways to really make it happen. The important factor, though, is to make sure you do it. So whatever you need to do, some of us, we got busy lives these days. There are a lot going on for all of us. So, find a thing that works for you. Put a calendar reminder out there, or go ahead and set up some automatic bill payments and make that work.
Excellent. So what's the second goal that a person needs to focus on?
Yes, to get to that 800. 30% is credit utilization. Oh, my goodness. Let me just go ahead and talk about that, because that was a huge piece for me. My credit cards are always maxed out, Regina. I'm telling you, I was like right at the limit, or maybe sometimes over the limit. Over the limit creates more fees, for sure, to make sure you understand that. But let me just also get you to understand the credit utilization. So let's think about it. If I have a credit card that's $1,000 and they're telling me that I need to keep that utilization under 30%, that would be $300 that I should not go over on that card. Well, I'm telling you, I learned a very valuable lesson with this one, because I was always over. But now, I learned to keep that way under 30%. Honestly, if you really want the best results, you want to stay under 20.
I love that you said that, because, in the car business, I'm always thinking of ways, trying to give people, when I talk to people about I talk to people about like buying a car, right? But I say, okay, you need to get your credit together. I try to give them an example, because I learn by people, by examples, by situations, not just you telling me what to do. I need someone to walk me through the process. And I love the way you're breaking it down, because you're making it simple. It's just like putting peanut butter on a sandwich.
That's right. So you can enjoy that sandwich.
I need some jam.
and you just going to add the jelly. And then how we going to do it? How we going to close it up? We're going to put the bread on it by getting to that 800 credit score on top of it.
That's it. Well, the next thing that you really want to keep in mind is it's really the length of credit history. I talk to a lot of clients who, especially during tax season, they're all about, let me just get that tax refund and let me go ahead and pay off all of these accounts. Well, I want to just encourage you and close them. They want to pay them off and close them. No problem with paying them off. Just don't close them, because 15% is length of credit history. So avoid closing accounts that you've had for a long time, and they're really in good standing. So that's really what I want to talk about relative to that credit history. Believe it or not, that credit card you got back in college, and you're still paying it on time, and it's in good standing, you decide, you know what, I'm done with these people, I'm going to close them out, that could impact your credit score. So you want to be careful about that as well.
So what you're saying basically is that if you have that account that you had, say if you're in your 40s and your 50s, and you had that account open that you were in college and you're still paying on, you should not close it. You should to continue to, use it, pay it off, and then still use it and not close it, because it's probably if you're in your 20s, now you're in your 40s, that account is 20 years old. So they should keep it open.
That's right. That's right. They should keep that account open. Certainly, I give advice to my clients where they can just tell them, don't close those accounts that are really in good standing that you've had for a very long time. You just want to be careful, because the 15% is based on that. Your credit score is based on that.
Do you have one more last point? Did we cover everything that we needed to cover?
I actually have two, and I'll cover them quickly, because I think although they're only 10%, they're still important to keep in mind. 10% is credit inquiries. Oh, my goodness. People can easily get caught up in going from one place to another place, especially when we think about, buying a car. We think about, whatever it is we're trying to get credit for. If you have multiple inquiries, it could be an impact on your credit score. So we want to make sure that we keep that in mind. And then the last one, Regina, is 10% of your credit is based on your credit mix. And so I have clients also who say, all my credit cards are in excellent, in an excellent standing, but my credit is not moving. Well, they don't have that last component, and they don't have a good mix. So meaning you need revolving credit, which is like your credit cards, personal line of credit, or home equity line of credit. And you also need installment credit, which is like your mortgage, your auto loans, student loans, personal loans. You need a good mix. So 10% is your mix of credit.
Okay, Cathy, give everybody your number where they can reach you again, please, real quick.
Awesome. I will. 1-800-988-9184, 1-800-988-9184, and it's CathyWashington.com. I am your financial life coach.
So let me just say this: if you get your life right. So let me just say this: if you want to reach Miss Cathy Washington, credit and financial coach, you can set up a time to chat with her. You can do it via Zoom. You can talk to. She can go over the services that she offers for what she can do for you. But we're going to take a station break, and we'll be right back. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. In June, we're giving away 12 months of Jack's Unlimited Car Wash memberships for free to the first 25 people who buy a new or used car from me. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate can make it a smooth, hassle-free experience. Our award-winning offices and the outstanding personal service offered by Brenda Davis and her professional sales associates guide you through the maze of infinite details surrounding the purchase or sale of your home, helping you become familiar with a new area, finding the right home for your family, arranging financing, and settling in a timely fashion is our priority. Assuring that your relocation is a pleasant experience is our ultimate goal. Brenda Davis, an associate broker, is a 21-year career licensed realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors, and a board member of the North Oakland County Board of Realtors. Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you.
You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat. I am your host, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and I'm sitting next to, who am I sitting next to this morning?
Dr. T, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Dr. Teresa Moore, before we bring Brenda Davis on, the realtor that moves you, what you got going on? What kind of nugget can you give somebody this week?
So this week, I'm going to give you the nugget to be intentional. And if you're looking for a therapist, you can call me 248-214-6678 so I can help you be intentional.
Now, why is it important to be intentional?
We have to be intentional about everything that we do in a day, because we can mess up the day by not being intentional about our focus for the day. So it helps us to be focused.
One more last question. Why should somebody call you? What makes you so special?
Because I want to make sure that you're healthy, you're happy, and you're whole. I want to give you tools to do just that. Call me, 248-214-6678.
Now we're getting down to my favorite thing to talk about is buying a house. And I say this, besides credit, cars is my first thing, credit's my second. Well, no, credit's my first thing because you got to have credit to buy a car. If you have bad credit or no credit, then you got an issue. But if you got bad credit, no credit, you need to see Miss Cathy Washington. But buying a house is the major purchase that you make in your life. Do you hear me? The major purchase that you make in your life. And this person I'm going to bring on now, that I'm introducing to our audience, is Miss Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you. But I can give you my personal experience. I have bought my houses from her. My dad, God bless his soul, that went on to be with the Lord, he sold his house. Brenda Davis sold his house. And then when he moved to Texas, she also hooked him up with the company down there, because it's about building relationships, building gaps, because that's what we do on Being the Driver's Seat. Miss Brenda Davis, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Regina. How are you today?
I don't know. You got to pay me. You got to pay me extra for that. You got to take me to lunch 5 days this week for all that.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I hope everyone is having a great day today.
So what's going on with the market conditions right now? I know things have kind of slowed up, or have they moved? Have they changed? What's going on with the market conditions right now?
You know, our markets are forever changing, and right now we're looking at a seller's market. I'm sure most of the audience is aware that the inventory of homes today is very low. Multiple offers are being presented to the sellers. The buyers aren't asking for anything, but they're giving up everything. So it's a totally different market today. Today it is definitely a seller's market.
So being a seller's market, what does that mean? Does that mean that when you put an offer in, that you should, if someone's offering $100,000 for their house, you should put an offer in for $85,000 and lowball them like we used to do back in the day?
No. That is a buyer's market. Today, the sellers are getting everything that they want and more. They're getting above list price. Their homes are attracting multiple offers, which means the buyers are in competition with the next 5, 6, 7, 8 or more buyers. And so the homeowner is pretty much just sitting back and saying, may the best man win. And that means whoever presents me the highest offer, whoever comes in and they're offering an appraisal gap, they're offering what they call an escalation clause. They're giving up what they used to ask for, 3 to 5% back for closing costs and prepaid expenses. They're giving up the request for home warranties. Those things are what the buyer would normally ask for in a different atmosphere, that being a buyer's market. Today, you don't ask for much of anything, and then you pray that your offer is going to be selected above all the others. I've heard as many as 20 to 30 offers being received on one house, and that's within the first day or two of that house hitting the market.
So you're basically saying that if you see a house that you like or you love, you need to jump on it. You don't need to procrastinate.
No, you can't wait and think about it, and I want to go see this house, and I want to do this. If you do that, the chances of your missing out on the house of your dreams is more probable than not. So if you see that house, I would recommend that first off, and your realtor should tell you this, you need to be pre-approved. When you see a home that you like, you need to be ready to present an offer immediately. Please don't waste the time thinking, and should I or shouldn't I, or I want to see 4 more homes, because when you get back to that one, chances are it's going to be a goner. So that is very important that you move quickly. You should also be in a position where you're willing to go above list price, because that's what it's going to take to secure that home for you. And what I've always told my clients, they'll say, well, Brenda, how much do you think I should offer? I will tell them in a heartbeat, I can provide you comps, which means I can tell you what recently sold in the market. We've seen probably a half dozen homes at least, so you have a pretty good idea of what your money can buy. But that question is something that you have to personally answer yourself. How much is that house worth to you? And then you have to submit your offer accordingly.
Miss Brenda Davis, just this week I witnessed this happen. Someone I know that was wanting to purchase a house, there was multiple offers on the house, but the deciding factor, like you said, is the seller, right? Mm-hmm. And so the seller, the reason how she got the house was a letter that she wrote. It was multiple offers, but she wrote a letter stating that this was her first house and how bad she wanted to be in that place. And that was the deciding factor on how she became the new owner.
You hit the nail right on the head, Teresa, because it's up to the homeowner. Mm-hmm. Sometimes that letter can speak very favorably, and sometimes it can be detrimental. Mm-hmm. So, you just kind of have to weigh that situation. That's a personal option. And again, it can work favorably for you, but sometimes it can go against you. So you want to be very thoughtful about whether or not you want to do that. I've seen it work both ways. As in the case of your friend, it worked in her favor. She got the house of her dreams because of that letter. And I'm sure the homeowner communicated that to her.
Yes.
And then sometimes, a different homeowner can look at that letter and push it aside and go with the next guy.
So, Brenda, if I'm looking to purchase a house today, what would be the first thing that you suggest that I do?
Get pre-approved.
Okay.
That is most important. And again, that's something that I always ask my clients. The first conversation we have, are you pre-approved? And if not, I will direct them to a lender that would be able to assist them. If they have a bank or a credit union, or another source of financing where they've had a previous history, then they most certainly are free to go to that banker, that lender, whomever. But that's the most important thing. You have to be prepared when you come to the table to give all the necessary documentation, and that most certainly includes the pre-approval letter.
So what's the importance of moving quickly? Why should you? Can you sum that up in like a minute?
Yeah. Quite frankly, you're going to lose the home if you don't. So you need to come to the table with the necessary documents. You need to ask your realtor to move on it right away, get that offer in as quickly as possible. Again, you don't want to take time. If you see that home and you love it, it offers the location, the style, the floor plan, it's in your price range. But again, you have to be willing to go above list price because that's the atmosphere that we're in right now. So you make the determination what that house is worth to you and not be afraid to offer that. The good thing about that is, and a lot of questions about that is, well, I'm paying more than what the house is worth. If you live in that house 10, 15, 20 years, that's your goal. You're going to earn that money back by way of the equity that you earn in the home.
So one last question, just answer this in one word, one answer. How long have you been in the business?
22 years.
You want to get with someone that's been in business for 22 years. Why? Because she has the knowledge, she has the power. She's been on the bad side in 2008 when the market crashed. She's been when it's good times, she was at bad time. Now we're back at the good times and the bad time. So get with Brenda Denise Davis. What's your number? How can they reach you?
That number is 248-909-9711. Again, 248-909-9711.
And Brenda Denise Davis is real estate broker, associate real estate broker at Century 21.
Town and Country.
Town and Country. She serves, what areas do you serve real quick?
All of Detroit Metro, Oakland, Macomb, you name it. I do believe in gassing up and go. I'm there to service my clients wherever they like to go.
But let me just say that she's not going to show you 10 homes. So pick out some homes and figure it out. We're going to take a station break and we'll be right back because we got to pay some bills again. Regina, the Queen of Car Loans here with Joe Longhammer Chevrolet. If you're looking to get into a new or used vehicle with affordable rates, we've got your back. Regardless of your financial situation, I can get you financed today. My lenders are making unheard of deals where others simply cannot. In June, we're giving away 12 months of Jack's Unlimited Car Wash memberships for free to the first 25 people who buy a new or used car from me. Just Google Regina, the Queen of Car Loans.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you. Whether you're relocating to Michigan from another state or country, moving across town, upgrading, or downsizing, Brenda Davis from Century 21 Town and Country Real Estate can make it a smooth, hassle-free experience. Our award-winning offices and the outstanding personal service offered by Brenda Davis and her professional sales associates guide you through the maze of infinite details surrounding the purchase or sale of your home, helping you become familiar with a new area, finding the right home for your family, arranging financing, and settling in a timely fashion is our priority. Assuring that your relocation is a pleasant experience is our ultimate goal. Brenda Davis, an associate broker, is a 21-year career licensed realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors, and a board member of the North Oakland County Board of Realtors. Call Brenda Davis now at 248-909-9711 and get started on your new home purchase or sale. Brenda D. Davis, the realtor that moves you.
All right, we're back. You are listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and I'm your host, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and I'm sitting next to who?
Dr. T, Dr. Teresa Moore.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this session up. I would like Miss Cathy Washington, all the way out of Atlanta, Georgia, even though she is in Atlanta, Cathy will get on a Zoom. If you have a church group and you want to go over the services and you want her to do a presentation, you can get on a Zoom. Or we're going to make it soon. Cathy's going to be live in person at least every 2 months, at least 60 days. She doesn't know that she's committing to that, but I hope that's okay. Is that okay, Miss Cathy Washington?
Of course, you know I'm committed. I'm committed to helping the people wherever they are, Atlanta, Detroit, wherever. Okay. That's the business of being global. You can just go wherever you need to go.
How can they reach you again?
Sure. 1-800-988-9184, 1-800-988-9184. And you can also hit me up on my website, CathyWashington.com. That's Cathy with a C. Come on, let me help you get your life right. Let's get it together financially.
And Dr. T, how can they reach you?
248-214-6678. Again, 248-214-6678.
Well, you know, we had a great show today. We had the Brenda Denise Davis, the realtor that moves you. You can reach her at, give us your number one more time.
That number is 248-909-9711. 248-909-9711.
Thank you for listening to Be in the Driver's Seat, and we'll see you next Saturday. Again, we're on every Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Talk to you next week. Have a great week.
You've been listening to Be in the Driver's Seat with Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and mental health expert, Dr. Teresa Moore.
Brought to you by Joe Longhammer Chevrolet of Waterford.
Be in the Driver's Seat, a Saturday morning mix of cars, credit, and wellness created just for you. From Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and Dr. Teresa Moore, thank you for listening.